Hey guys, welcome to What It Flipping Takes. I'm Jacka St. John, the host, and I have two special guests today. These guys have What It Flipping Takes. So I've got Stephen Pressure.
Steven Pressure.
So, Steven.
No worries, no worries. I'm Steven Pressure. I work for Valor Lending Group. I'm the vice president.
And he specializes in financing and hard money. So we are going to learn a lot about what it takes with the hard money and why these investors actually use hard money. And then we have Zabie Sahial with Kreativ Haus with a K. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, that's. I think you guys might know me by now.
Yeah,
So.
this guy has blown up Facebook and social media with the storm. So he definitely knows how to get on the camera. And he specializes in staging and what it takes to really get a house sold. So excited to have you guys on. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Awesome. So starting with you.
Yes.
What is your background? Why are you in San Diego? How did you get here? How did you start this business?
Well, I'll try and keep it short. I've been all over the country. I lived in Michigan, Illinois, Florida, Colorado, basically everywhere. I was in the military first. I started there. I went 4 years there, and then met my wife, and we hightailed it over to Washington. And when we went over to Washington, we stayed there for 4 years, and that's where I actually started in the industry. I got my 2-year degree in business, and I didn't know really where to go from there. So I took a temp job at USDA and started working for USDA Rural Development. When I was there, I was doing loan processing there and whatnot, and started really getting into it and kind of enjoying it. So I did that for, I don't know, about I'd say about 6 months or so. And then decided to go over to the private sector and join a broker. I joined Clift Mortgage over there in Washington and started doing my conventional loans here and there. Did that for a year, and then the president of Valor Lending Group, Darren Carlin, decided that he needed me down here to help expand the company.
And that's a horrible move from Washington to San Diego.
Washington, where we were, it was beautiful. We loved it. It was up in the mountains. We were out in the out in the sticks area.
Yeah.
You know, I hunt and fish and
nice.
enjoy that.
Yeah. You miss it?
Yeah. It's probably where we'll end up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love it up there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we we moved down here and started working for Valor Lending Group moved down here with our son. It was a big move. Just me and my sister cruising in a U-Haul all the way down from Washington, going over the mountain passes and terrifying drops and snowy roads, but we made it. And so we got down here and moved into Little Italy and started working. And I've been doing this with Valor Lending for about 1.5 years now.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice, and that's downtown.
And that's downtown, Petco Park, Diamond View Tower. We're on the 10th floor. We catch most of the Padres games, events, and so on and so forth.
I got to
off our balcony.
preview your office, and that was pretty nice.
It's cool.
Definitely a good spot to go watch games at, or concerts. You can totally go to the concerts and watch those for free.
Yeah, we got the monster truck rally that was out there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But I get stuck. I get complacent because I start staring out my views out my window in my office. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I got stuff to do.
Yeah, that must
get back
be
to
hard.
work. Yeah. But yeah, it's a good spot. Give me a holler. You're more than welcome to come up and join us for any of our events or shows. Well,
you guys heard that, the invite.
Yeah, it's out there.
Now I really wanted to get into the hard money with you because it's crazy that I used to think that all these investors used cash. They all had money. They were flipping homes, making a lot of money, and even the largest investors that I've worked with that have millions of dollars in the bank, I find out that they're using hard money. I'm going, what the heck? Like, why would you use hard money versus just your cash?
And when they come in for the purchase, it looks like cash, right? On the
and
contract.
essentially it's when you're qualified and you can leverage that out. I mean, it is cash.
Exactly. Essentially, it is same as cash.
So the word hard money.
Yeah.
Is it hard to get? Like, why is it hard? Like, what's so hard about it?
It is impossible to get. Yeah. No, hard money is just because it's it's same as cash. It's hard cash that can be used.
Got it.
Right, and it's easy to get. Typically, what we can do in California is we can do no appraisal, no contingencies, and close in 7 to 10 days. So it makes it easier for investors to acquire properties and leverage the properties. So instead of going in with a cash offer, so say you have $100,000 and you put $100,000 into a $100,000 purchase, and say in a year you're going to have a 5% gain on your investment. Well, that's your rate of return, right? So you do that, you get 5%. Now you gain $5,000 by the end of the year. If you take that same $100,000 and put that as a down payment into a $5,000 property, well, now on a 5% return, you're looking at $25,000. So now you just gained $20,000 in your return because you leveraged your money rather than going all cash. And you can also use that money to buy multiple properties and do the same thing multiplied. So 5 times the return is much better than going cash poor and putting it all into one property.
And I mean, there's investors like buy and hold investors that use this as well, right? So it's not just like the flipping companies or the rehabbers. There's buy and hold and what they refi out of that hard money afterwards?
Essentially what we would do is we would put them into the hard money while we're going through the 7 to 10 days to get the hard money done. We would still be gathering up their information that's needed for the refinance, either through an investor cash flow program or through an investor bank statement program or some sort of long-term financing that they can utilize on their investment property. And so for the investor cash flow, you're no tax returns, no W-2s, no income whatsoever. The property itself actually services its own debt. So if your payment of the loan is the same or more of your rent, either market rents or if you have a lease, either one, we can debt service that to show 100% coverage, and we can finance on that type of transaction without the tax returns or any income.
Sounds more like easy money than hard money.
It really is.
I was going to say the same.
Even though it's hard, like I get the hard
transaction,
actual cash, but I mean, I think that just in general, hard money has always sounded so bad. Like it had this stigma about it that you can't get a regular loan, so you're going to get like a hard money loan. Like who finances these types of, I mean, is it regular banking institutions or is it personal? Or
there is some institutional money out there. Those tend to come with prepayment penalties. So we'd have a hard time getting out of that loan right away because they want their returns on the interest, right? So that would be under the institutional. It's usually, I don't know, about 36 months maybe. So 3 years. And then we have the private investors on the private sector who are using other people's money in the pool, and those investors typically have no prepayment penalties, and they're getting theirs on the initial draws of the purchase. So no prepayment penalty, no appraisal needed, close in 7 to 10 days, and it's hard money. It's hard.
So most people think like, okay, hard money, oh my God, it's like a loan shark in a way. Like, how much is that interest rate going to be? Is it going to be 15%, 18%? Where are the standard rates for like low risk and high risk? What's the range that you guys provide?
Well, the best would be about 8.9%. We'd probably be able to get in there. Now, it depends on the program though, because if you are okay with the prepayment penalty and you want to put a little bit more down, then we can get a lower interest rate. Or if you want to leverage more or less and put more down, say 50%, well, it's based on that and the quality of the property. So if it's in San Diego, downtown San Diego, you're putting 50% down on that, you're going to have a much better rate than if you were to put, the minimum down of 25%.
So what are the pros and cons to using this type of financing? I mean, with people looking into hard money or even realtors, they get an offer and it will say cash, but then they find out there's hard money. I mean, do you guys talk to the realtors, say, hey, that we've already qualified this person, they have a line of credit, or how do you make them feel comfortable with
Well, we've done so many of these. Our track record says it all. You can check our testimonials on the website. So we like to share those and initially and kind of just be like, look, we've done a number of these finances. Yes, we've already vetted. Yes, we've already talked to the lender. Yes, the lender's already put the funds on the sidelines and we're ready to go. We have already acquired the documentation we need to show the proof of the assets and so on and so forth. I won't go into detail on everything because it'll take more than a half hour. But yeah, so we already have the money on the sidelines, and we literally are same as cash, and we are ready to get loan docs out within those few days that we need to just to finish the job.
Yeah.
So it really is easy, and it's easy to let the real estate agent know that yes, the money's on the sideline because we have the confidence in our financing, and we know the money is there, and we know that it's going to fund.
So as a realtor point of view, when I'm looking at, knowing that an investor has maybe an offer on one of my properties, like I try to vet out, like, okay, what's going on, what kind of cash, proof of funds, I'm looking at who he's using for hard money, because there are those nightmare deals. Oh, yeah. There are the ones where, the investor drags their feet, they're trying to obtain financing, you don't know if, there's just so many moving parts that, it's hard for some realtors to trust the hard money.
Yeah.
And I think hard money, I mean, there's always the good and the bad with companies, different companies. You've got the one that kind of is like, where are you borrowing this money from?
Exactly. And the great thing is for us at least, we vet all. We don't go to Scotsman's Guide, which is how you would find a hard money lender, right? If you're in the industry, to find our hard money lenders. We've been working with them for years. And we know the experience that we're going to get. So when we do have an investor come in and say, hey, I want to purchase this property, I'm going to fix and flip it, or I'm going to buy and hold it, but I need to compete with the cash offers. We say, okay, well, let's see the situation. Where's your liquidity at? What's your real estate history, and so on and so forth. So basically, we just make sure that we have them set up for the best lender for their situation. So if they're doing fix and flip, we talk to our fix and flip lenders. If they want to, if they say they want to finance the rehab budget, we can have situations where we can finance 100% of the rehab budget.
Wow.
And just a little bit down. And then if you don't want to finance the rehab budget, well then, we just go with the straight hard money acquisition, and the closing time is generally the same. So. The biggest difference between those two is you need to provide a rehab schedule if you're doing a fix and flip lender. And usually it's on a draw. And what I would like to do if, say, we don't have a savvy investor, we have a beginner who this is their first flip. We can still do that. The rates are a little bit higher for the first flippers, obviously, because there's a lot more risk.
And there's some hard money lenders that actually do an equity split with these guys too, which...
Yeah.
Do you guys do that, or do you?
We can. Yes, we can do that.
I mean, you make a lot more money, but at the same time, I don't think investors like that so much.
Yeah, they'll definitely do that if the property warrants it.
Yeah.
If they see that there's going to be a great return on it. Then
so you guys could get creative.
Yeah,
you can kind of work with.
That's what we do. We are a niche lender.
Yeah.
So we can get creative with nearly any situation as long as it makes sense.
Right.
If you have a savvy investor that has no financing on a property and wants to purchase a property, we can do 100% cross-collateralization using the one property and put a percentage on there, and then we can put another percentage on the purchase property and finance, no cash to close. You keep all your cash in hand, and then as soon as you fix it up with the cash that you would have used for your down payment or for your 100% purchase, you now have in hand, do your rehab, sell it, and you don't have to worry about your second position over here getting in the way of that. It all satisfies itself in the end.
And so I was talking to you before, but you also you help save some deals too, and you close maybe escrows that are falling out, like problem escrows, problem financing. For some reason, something happened. Their underwriting department is now red flagging this file.
Yes.
I'm a realtor. I need to bring this and close it.
And you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
So you guys are specialized in saving deals as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. We've had a number of situations where they contact us, our realtor referral partners, contact us, say, hey, they said they had verification of funds. They said they had a lender. There's an issue with the title, or there's an issue with their credit. They didn't have seasoned foreclosure or bankruptcy or something that was missed. And now we're 15 days into escrow, and we have to close in 15 days. It's, all right, calm down, no problem. As long as they have the amount down, we still don't need an appraisal. We can take the appraisal, don't have to transfer it. We can get it done, and then immediately refi them into the long-term financing. Sometimes even before they even make one payment. So the only thing they're paying for essentially is the closing costs, and then they're taken out immediately after because of our process. Because we're used to doing it with our investors with the investment properties, we're able to still collect the new information that we need and find a home for them before we start the hard money process, because you have to have an exit strategy. So as soon as we close that one, we immediately start on the next one and get them refinanced before they even make a payment. Maybe one payment or two. Right. But that's still more than they were going to get if they would have lost the property.
And I mean, for some buyers, it completely makes sense because this is their dream home. They, you know, they're ready to move into this house. They took a year to find it, you know, and the realtor worked a year to find them. And then something happens. I mean, I've had stuff where it's like child support popped up or some like random stuff popped up, and I'm going, oh my gosh, you know.
There's an alimony in there somewhere.
3 days before closing, I decided to buy a new car.
I know.
Well done. Good job.
I know. It's like, really? I have stories about that. I know. I have plenty of stories about people maxing out their credit card and buying furniture for the house that they're moving into. So it's just,
like, hey, I want to buy my daughter this car. It's like, wait a minute.
You know what's nice is you can keep the furniture.
Are you just
co-signing for that
house?
I'll sell it to you. Yeah, you can finance that in.
There you go.
Finance the staged home. But yeah, awesome. Well, I mean, it's great to have you as a backup or just to have you in our pocket too, because I mean, just for investors alone to do these flips, or for
and we essentially have nearly every loan in the book. We have 100 different lenders, thousands of different loan programs that we can work. We can be very creative, or we can be conventional. You know, we have the best conventional lenders in the industry as well with the lowest rates. VA financing, we're big on VA financing as well. You know, we have 5% of our proceeds go to a local veteran charity on all of our VA financing. We love our veterans. Being a veteran myself and 3 other officers in the, including the president in the business that are all veterans. So we definitely.
So do you specialize in all? I mean, do you do all that, or do you have different departments where people specialize in different types of loans?
So we have about 15 loan officers. And they all kind of have their own little specialty that they work with. I tend to focus on stated income. Yes, it's back. No, it's not as scary as it used to be. And the fix and flip and hard money. Those are kind of the things that I try and focus on because they walk hand in hand.
Are the adjustables back?
Adjustable rates?
Yeah, like are they more popular again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
they are more popular.
Okay.
You'll get a few people who want to get the 30-year fix, but who stays in a mortgage more than 5 to 7 years without refinancing? So you get a better rate with the 5 to 7/1 arms. So why not go with 5 to 7/1 arms? Now, I wouldn't recommend that for the first-time home buyer. But if someone has bought before and they know that they're going to refinance to either cash out or, you know, just to try and get a rate and term, it makes more sense to go with the ARM products. You know.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So, stated income, bank statements, CPA letters, P&Ls, stuff like that. There's more leverage on those products. They're not as 100% financing.
Right.
All you have to do is be able to blink.
Right.
You know, no, it's not like that anymore. You actually have to have skin in the game, so you have to have cash down. You know, as little as 10%. But the credit scores have to be in the high 6s to
the
7s.
Traditional
qualifications, and they follow TILA RESPA guidelines as well. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So Zabie.
It's Steven, what are you talking about?
Stefan.
Let's turn the attention on you. I know you're just fired up over there. So, you're all over Facebook. I see you everywhere. You love the camera. How the heck did a big guy like you get into staging? Because all the stagers I know are female. So like, where did you come from? Is what I want to know.
Oh man, well, I came from my mother. She's amazing. You know, it's funny. I get asked this question a lot. You would never think that of all things, this is what I would have. This is never what I thought I was gonna do.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, you know, this is something that I've been doing for about, I'd say, 3 years, like 3.5 years, give or take. But I launched this company, Kreativ Haus, but I launched Kreativ Haus Design January 1st of this year. Okay, so literally it's a brand new company.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's ran by me, you know, and my partner, but it's the background of it and the knowledge of the industry that I knew before that I took into this, obviously, you know, it gave us the footprint to be able to do what we're doing. But how did I get into it, if that was the question, is surely by accident.
Yeah.
I would never think that this is what I was going to do.
So I have to ask, do you like pick out the staging items? You do?
Yeah, so so
I just wanted to know if like you have a female mastermind behind you.
So this is I may end up just getting so much more business, or I might have realtors questioning, do I want to work with this guy's company anymore? So this just kind of go backwards and just so they understand, you know, everyone understands how it happened, right? So I've been from the youngest age I think I can ever remember. I think I started my first business when I was, I want to say in the 6th grade. And that was literally going and buying bags of lollipops from the 99-cent store, taking those same lollipops to school and selling them for $0.25.
Yeah.
And just reflipping that money over and over and over. I cannot remember the last time I ever worked for anybody. And, you know, that's just not my style. I can't do it. If you tell me to do this, it drives me crazy, right? So how I got into this was at the time I owned a couple of Metro PCS locations. If you're familiar with them, they're like the cricket locations, whatnot. They were new to San Diego. They had just got acquired from T-Mobile, so they were going to go nationwide, all throughout the United States. You had to be invited from the Metro PCS themselves. They had to invite you to allow you to open up a franchise location. And my silent partner at the time owned multiple locations of their competitor, Cricket. So he couldn't actually be on the paperwork and do it. So he asked me, hey, you know, he told me this scenario, and I said, cool, let's do it. I didn't listen to my gut. I didn't listen to my gut. Metro PCS is it's as you know, it's a prepaid, you know, carrier, and my partner decided that we should have everything all industrial inside and Apple computers and laptops everywhere and just make it into like a really nice, you know, Kreativ Haus stage property, right? When you walk in.
Right.
So yeah, horrible investment, and was losing everything that I had. And at the time, my friend owned a staging company, and he said he saw that I was literally from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. every single day working, like literally every day. And he saw that I was just struggling because I had to work because I couldn't afford to hire a second employee.
Yeah.
So he offered me to go and stage or go move around furniture for his staging company. So I said, all right, I'll do it. So I closed up my shop, go move furniture for him, take that money back to my store, pay my employee with it, and it was just a revolving cycle.
Yeah.
And as I was doing it, I realized that, okay, this industry has a lot of potential upside. It's just not being ran the way that it should be ran.
Yeah.
And so fast forward a few years later, here I am today, and that's how the inception of Kreativ Haus was created.
Nice.
And it's created into a way to where we are not your traditional mom and pop operation. We are, spearheading this to become the household name, the norm of what this industry is and how it should operate. And by creating a model that's actually scalable, not just, hey, I got furniture, hey, I got a storage unit, hey, I got a truck.
Yeah.
That's not the way we do business.
Yeah. Well, definitely. I mean, I love staged homes.
Yeah.
Those are,
Yeah.
you know, when they're staged and beautiful, they're so much easier to sell, and
Absolutely.
you're going to get way more
Absolutely.
money. It makes the realtors look better.
Absolutely.
I mean, you want to do the open house in a staged home.
Let me ask you a question. How many times, as a real estate agent, I'm sure you've worked on the buyer side multiple times, right? So, I mean, look, it's real simple. I believe in selling. Selling, in my opinion, is by transferring the emotion. That's my philosophy of what I believe selling is.
Yes.
It's by transferring the emotion. It's how you feel about something and transferring that emotion to the person that you're trying to convey that message to. I mean, I think it's very safe to say that your buyers, for 9 out of 10 times, that purchase will be single-handedly the largest purchase either up until that point of their life or that they're ever going to make in their life.
Right.
So when making that purchase, sitting down on a couch, looking around at their future home,
Yeah.
believe me,
Oh,
it
yeah.
psychologically makes a huge difference on the purchase.
And it shows them a
makes
possibility.
huge. Yeah. I mean, the average buyer cannot go in. I mean, you see one room and it's a squared off room and there's a fireplace and a window and maybe like the kitchen, and they're going, I don't know where to put the couches.
Yeah.
You know, the fireplace is right there, the window's over there, and you know, they have no idea. They don't realize, like, if it's staged, it's like, no, you don't have to butt up a couch against the wall every single time you decorate. You know, you know, people think like they've got to put everything against the walls and try to like figure out how to use the space. But then the stager comes in and they're like, wow, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, can we just buy this furniture because I love it so much.
I like the way it is. Yeah.
I mean,
And yes, that is available. With our
yeah. I mean, it just
side pun. Throw that in there.
staging just makes a huge difference. That's why, like, I just love all the stagers, because I'm just like, if every single house could, even traditional sales, you know, just take your furniture, take your antique ugly furniture out and get some modern, fresh furniture
I mean,
in here.
you speak on that, and you know, I'll tell you right now, like this, you know, my hat's off, you know, to a lot of people that are in this industry. I mean, when I say industry, I'm talking about the staging industry. It is it's a tough industry.
Yeah.
I mean, like you work for your money.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, you know, staging is great, but when it's not staged right, you know, it could be horrible.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, and that's the misconception sometimes. I mean, staging, obviously, it's 100% all the time.
Right.
But the wrong staging can substantially affect, you know, do the reverse effect.
And that's usually the homeowners that have their regular furniture in there and they're way oversized and they just don't like they don't go together, and
Just too
it's
much
their
of it.
theme like of furniture, and people just can't picture themselves in it. It's like, okay, just imagine this as a blank slate. Like, I'm trying to get them to imagine, okay, this is the size of the living room, you have room. You know, it's really hard, even as a buyer's agent. It's easy to, you know, sell these properties as a listing agent when they're staged, because it's like, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it makes your job
and then
easy.
as a buyer's agent, the same thing. You're showing them around these properties and you're trying to, like, okay, just picture everything cleared out.
I'll send you guys my Venmo for an extra tip on this.
Yeah, can you consult with?
No worries. I made your job easier. Hook a brother up.
So from start to finish, like, what's the process of like your typical day, or like if I were to like order a staging?
Real simple. So my whole vision is, how do I make your life easier, right? I believe that any product that is a successful product is a product that literally makes it fixes a complication in life, right? So, you know, being a real estate agent, which you know, it's not easy. I hear people always talk about, man, it's the easiest thing. They make a ridiculous amount of money. It's a tedious task. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes there's those you know, deals that was a slam dunk and you just made X amount. But hey, you know what? You worked yourself enough to get to a position to where you get a easy slam dunk
Or there's
deal.
enough bad ones
Right,
to
exactly.
make
enough
up
bad
for
ones.
the,
Believe me, look,
the
look,
easy one, you know?
Yeah, I tell you right now, if you have time to talk, then you have a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that, you know. So, but not to get off topic, as far as what we do from start to finish. What we do from start to finish is, since you as an agent, your tasks of listing a home, the basics typically is the staging, for the most part, photos, the video, the cleaning, and then obviously your marketing.
And you guys do cleaning.
Right. So when you
Right?
contact me, let's just say today we'll use, I think today's the 12th? Is today the 12th? Okay. Today's the 12th. Let's say you have a property coming up on the 18th. Right? Call me, hey Zabie, I got a property. It's on the 18th. I'd like to go live. Okay, it's currently getting worked on or whatever the case may be, but I like to go live on the 18th. Great, no problem. Email me the address and email me a lockbox code, and I will take care of the rest. And it's as simple as that, literally. It's as simple as that. Once you execute the contracts that we send to you through DocuSign, you sign those, and it's a wrap. We take care of everything for you. On the 18th, you will have a staged home. You will have an email with a Dropbox file of all of your content, and everything will be ready for the open house.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Literally.
You could do it that fast.
Literally.
Do you have
don't
that much furniture like stored up?
I have.
Like,
I have over doing our last inventory count. Coincidentally, just yesterday, we have a little over $500,000 worth of inventory right now.
Wow.
That inventory was accumulated since the beginning of this year, so it's all brand new inventory. We still have stuff in boxes. We're over 150 plus staged homes. I mean, we're
Wow.
doing it.
Yeah, I've seen you all over, and you do amazing
Right.
staging.
I
I'm like,
appreciate it.
wow,
I
that
appreciate it.
really is high quality. It makes
cool.
everything look so luxury.
Yeah.
Like even a little house in the ghetto.
Right.
You feel like you're in La Jolla. Like it's like, wow, really? Where is that?
Yeah, I still to this day I wonder how I do it, but
It feels so good though.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
so like I do a little bit of light staging
Yeah.
myself, with just stuff that I have.
Right.
If it's just like I need to put a few things around, nothing
Right.
big, but just putting a shower curtain, a rug, a vase, and some spa stuff in the bathroom. I'm like,
I think what it is, I think what separates, just what separates you from anyone, or from anything is the details. The details. It's look, you're an agent, and so is another 22,000 agents in San Diego.
Right.
What makes you so special?
Right.
Well, it's because
What makes you
it's,
stand out?
what makes you stand out. It's that detail, right? And everyone you deal with may not notice that detail, but as long as you're true to yourself and you put that detail even in a home that that agent doesn't even care for, and you can forego spending extra money on that property for a higher profit margin, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking from a business aspect now.
Right.
Yeah.
You still do that detail. You still do that detail, and when you do right by your product, by your client, the byproduct is you just grow.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Right.
So.
Right. So I don't have my glasses, but can one of you guys read the comments so we can say hi to everybody?
It's all just heart emojis, and you're so
wonderful.
professional, Steven.
Very nice, yeah.
Well, hi everyone. Thanks for
so much.
commenting.
Thank
yeah,
you so
thank
much.
you. Thank you for watching. And
Right.
yeah, I think
Always
that's
cameras over
we
here.
we are pretty much you guys just talked up a storm, so we are pretty much done with our time. But
Wow.
thank you so much for
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me
thank you
on.
for coming, and we'll put your info down below so that people can contact you. Let me know.
Yeah.
Because it feels good to know that people contacted you. The last guy had told me how much feedback he got and the leads and stuff. So I was like, wow, that feels really good. So yeah, definitely let me know. But thank you guys, everyone, for watching What If Flipping Takes. Contact these guys if you need any creative financing, or staging.
All right.